We are 3 months out from opening day, but let's try and predict each team's closer up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Thursday, December 28th. I am Frank Stanfill, all by myself, but it's all good. First and foremost, a happy and healthy new year to everybody out there. Please make sure to check out the full-length podcast with Greg Jewett, who is much smarter than me when it comes to bullpens, but I will try my best. Let's start with the National League. The Arizona Diamondbacks, I think very clearly, Paul Sewald, who they went out and traded for last season. The Braves, Raisel Iglesias, although that bullpen is loaded, it's still Raisel Iglesias to start. For the Cubs, as of now, the way that they are constructed, I think it will be Adbert Alzolay as long as he's healthy, but I think they are a dark horse for Josh Hader as well, so keep that in mind. For the Reds, Alexis Diaz, he did fade a little bit in the second half. I just think they were using him so much, but it was a successful first season as the closer with the Reds, so I do think Alexis Diaz will pick up where he left off. For the Rockies, not sure that it really matters too much for fantasy because I don't think they're going to be a very good team. It's very tough to pitch in Coors Field as well. I think it comes down to Tyler Kinley and Justin Lawrence to start, but they ended the year with Tyler Kinley in the role, so that will be my prediction for opening day. For the Dodgers, Evan Phillips has done a very good job in the role the past couple of years. As of now, assuming they don't sign anybody else, they've been linked to Josh Hader. I do think it will be Evan Phillips once again. For the Marlins, Tanner Scott was amazing in 2023, and I do think he will start the year as the Marlins closer in 2024. For the Brewers, Devin Williams was amazing last season, and I think he will be amazing once again, assuming he's not traded. If he is, I think Joel Payamps is a name to watch there, but obviously to start, it will be Devin Williams. For the Mets, Edwin Diaz is returning from a devastating knee injury, which he suffered in the WBC. They're paying him a lot of money. He will be the closer. For the Phillies, kind of wide open right now. Jose Alvarado has some experience in the role. Jeff Hoffman was great in the second half of the season. Sir Anthony Dominguez has some closing experience as well. And Orion Kerkering, I think, is a dark horse there. Has closing experience in the minors. A nasty sweeper as well. I think it's Alvarado and Jeff Hoffman to start the year. Maybe Jeff Hoffman, because he's a righty, gets a few more opportunities. But I do think as the season goes on, Orion Kerkering will step into the closer role. But if we're just looking at the start of the year, I think it will be Alvarado and Jeff Hoffman in that role. For the Pirates, David Bednar, great season. He will be their closer. For the Padres, this one's kind of up in the air too. Robert Suarez didn't have the best year last season, but he is a righty and they're paying him. They also signed Yuki Matsui this offseason. Smaller, left-handed pitcher coming over from Japan. Tons of closing experience. I know he's a lefty. I know he's a smaller guy. I think Yuki Matsui is going to be the closer on opening day, but perhaps they look to mix and match there. For the Giants, going to roll with Camilo Doval, obviously coming off an amazing season. For the Cardinals, I think to start, it will be Ryan Helsley. Can he stay on the field? That's another question. For the Nationals, probably looking to make a trade at some point in 2024, but Kyle Finnegan still had 28 saves in 2023. I think he will be the closer to start, but if they do pivot at some point, Hunter Harvey does have some nasty stuff as well. For the American League, the Orioles signed Craig Kimbrell because Felix Bautista will miss the entire season coming off of Tommy John surgery, so Craig Kimbrell will be the closer there. For the Red Sox, it will be Kenley Jansen, as long as he is on their team. The White Sox, kind of a mess right now. Gregory Santos had some opportunities last season. He is hurt. We don't know if he's going to be ready for opening day. If he's not, I do think Garrett Crochet is a name to watch with the White Sox. For the Guardians, very clearly, Emmanuel Clase, weird year, led the league in saves, led the league in blown saves as well. There have been some trade rumors out there. It's Clase, obviously, for now. If they trade him, I think Scott Barlow will be the next man up. For the Tigers, I think it will be Alex Lang. For the Astros, it's Ryan Presley, although Brian Abreu does have some nasty stuff behind him. For the Royals, my guess is it will be Will Smith to start the year because he's a veteran. He has a lot of experience in that role as well. But wouldn't surprise me if maybe they pivot to James MacArthur at some point midseason. But my guess is Will Smith to start the year. For the Angels, they are paying Carlos Estevez. He's coming off a season with 30 saves. Was not good down the stretch. I think it's Carlos Estevez's job to lose. I think he probably will start with it. But Ben Joyce, the maybe not so much of a dark horse. They drafted him a couple years ago. He throws extremely hard. I think Ben Joyce is a name to watch, but Estevez to start. For the Twins, it will be Yohan Duran, who is coming off of a huge breakout season. For the Yankees, as of now, it's Clay Holmes. They have been linked to Jordan Hicks and Robert Stevenson. Again, we're recording this on December 28th, so we'll see what happens there. But as of now, it is Clay Holmes. For the A's, there have been rumors about Mason Miller. He has had a lot of injuries so far in his career, so I'm not sure he's ready for a starter's workload and throws extremely hard. He just kind of profiles as a closer. So probably Mason Miller to start the year, but I think a veteran to watch there is Trevor Gott. For the Mariners, Andres Munoz. Can he stay on the field? That's a big question, but when he is healthy, I think he'll be the closer. I think a dark horse to watch there is Prelander Baroa, who is a prospect in the Mariners organization. For the Rays, it will be Pete Fairbanks. For the Rangers, as of now, it's Jose Leclerc. He ended the year, ended the World Series in that role, but almost every analyst predicted Josh Hader to sign with the Rangers this offseason. If they don't sign him, do they pivot to someone else? Do they trade for like a Devin Williams? I think it's possible. The way their roster is set up right now, it will be Jose Leclerc. And then for the Blue Jays, Jordan Romano. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again next week in the new year. Bye-bye.